I had a girlfriend in Kiev. Well, we dated for quite some time, and we hung out almost every day. And we had incredible times together, and it was, I would say, it was intimate, but it wasn't sex. We didn't have sex for about 2 weeks, right? The fact that we didn't have sex for 2 weeks made me respect her so much more, because if we had sex on the first night, well, that means like I'm not that special. That she's looking at me going, I need to have sex with him on the first night. I never ever do this, but I'm going to do it just for him. That's probably bullshit, right? Probably means that she does have sex a lot and she is promiscuous, and you still controlling the situation, because you may take it to the next part and she says, no, I don't want to have sex, and then it's out of your control. You're the one that has been pushed out of the control of whether or not you have sex or not. So we have clients that we introduce to Ukrainian women online through Zoom, and then they have to come and meet the woman over in Europe at some point in time. What is the expectation that they have to have sex? What is right? What is wrong? What are the consequences of having sex? And what are the consequences of not having sex on that first time that they meet? All right, so we're going to talk about that in this video today. I think it's a good topic. So when our clients sign up with us, they'll meet a bunch of ladies, and usually in a relatively short period of time. And they'll have the first date through Zoom. Then after that, if they like each other, they'll go on to communicate with each other using WhatsApp, using Skype, whatever it is they want to use, Viber, whatever. And the expectation from the woman is that he's going to come and meet her pretty soon. Like how soon?
The minimum time that we have, that the guy came in 2 weeks. The average is 2 months, but sometimes it takes longer. It depends.
Yeah, okay. And so the guy in his mind, all of them are going to be thinking, I'm probably going to have sex, perhaps. But he may be meeting 1, 2, or 3 ladies on his trip over to Europe. Maybe he's going to Germany, maybe he's going to Poland, maybe he's going somewhere else. You have to mitigate this very, very carefully, and we're actually pretty good at doing this with our clients. So when he meets her, the question to ask is, should you be having sex straight away? Now, we've done similar topics of this in the past, and there's always people in the comments that tell us, no, he should have sex because he needs to find out if they are sexually compatible in the bedroom, right?
I want to say here that the difference between doing these videos before and now, it's like also is when the guys were coming to Ukraine and now they're coming to Europe, like all the circumstance, all the little details change, but the major idea that we will provide here and that we believe that works the best for, not just for her, but and for you, it's like for the relationship in general, we will talk about this. Here I want to say one thing. It really very depends. Is he coming to see only one, one woman, or he is coming to see like multiple women? This is number one.
Yeah.
Because, but I think that your idea is the same, like don't rush it, and you will talk about this in a second, right? So no matter, is it 1 lady or 3? But for us, sexual relationship, intimate sexual relationship, it's a definition of a relationship that, you turn the level of getting to know each other or introduction, you get to a next level, right? So you are in a relationship. The moment that you start this intimate sexual relationship, you become in a relationship for real, for serious. I don't know how else to explain that. So if you're planning to meet 3 ladies, then of course, like if you do have it with the first lady, then you need to make a decision for yourself. You either need to stop, it's what we will tell you, and say, okay, so we consider that as a relationship on a moral level as well. Of course, we can't, like in Ukraine, we have a saying like hold a candle, we can't hold the candle of every relationship that you have with a woman. So it's up to you, like what you want to do first, like next. Will you go to see another woman or will you stay with this one? But we always say that this is the point. This is the point when your relationship start on a different level. But in general, even if you come to meet only 1 woman, so you've been talking to her, you met her in a Zoom party, or you met her just somehow like through our service, you come to meet her. So Stryker has a very strong belief in that.
Yeah, well, the reason that we say that it takes it to another level is not because we think that, it's because she thinks that, right? And what she thinks is going to have a direct reflection on you and your actions going forward, right? So if you have no restraint, I'll say that, right? If you have no restraint, you think, I just want to have sex with, and you're visiting 3 women, right? I'm going to have sex with all 3 and I'm going to see which one is the best. So whichever one is the best is your priority. So you're prioritizing sex over anything else, right? And if you're doing that, I think it's going to come with some consequences, right? Because the woman that has the most sexual experience in bed is the woman that you're going to believe is going to be the best choice for a long-term relationship. Well, if a woman is...
If you think in a micro
well,
world,
if a woman has a notch count of 100 men, she's going to understand what men like more than a woman that's got a notch count of one
what woman
or two.
has 100 men?
Oh, there's a woman with 100 men. Don't worry about that.
Stryker.
Well, maybe I'm
It's an extreme case.
Well, maybe I'm exaggerating, but I'm doing that for so you understand. So a sexually inexperienced woman is not a bad thing, right? It's not hard for a woman to become more experienced with you if you know what you're doing. Right?
Especially how you like it and what you like.
But the problem is that some men think that, oh wow, she's dynamite in the bedroom, so I need to pursue her, and you will overlook red flags, right?
Yes.
Maybe it's subconsciously, maybe it's consciously, and we've seen this, and we've talked about it before about guys that we know that have been in relationships with women that are just crazy in the bedroom because they have a lot of experience in the bedroom, and they think that that's what I'm going to pursue.
It takes away the ability for the guy to think straight,
to think
and
logically,
to think logically and rationally.
Yeah.
That is it's so interesting that how one event from the whole different things that happening with you during the relationship, like this absolutely take away any rational
Men have ruined their lives because a woman is good in the bedroom. They've literally ruined their lives over this, right? So you have to have restraint as a man. And I tell you, it's a lot easier to say no to having sex with a beautiful woman, even though you really want it, than to say, yes, I'll just have it anyway, and then I'm going to overlook red flags, okay? So when it comes to her point of view, when it comes to having sex, right, this is the main reason why we say it. Well, I can't say the main reason, maybe there's a bit of both, okay? But when you have sex with her, you're moving into another realm of the relationship with her, right? Unless she is a slut, right? And do you want to be in a relationship with a slut, right? Ask yourself that question. Maybe you do for the short term. Our clients, generally speaking, because they pay us money, they want to have something that's long term, that's a sustainable, long-lasting, loving, caring, nurturing relationship. But she thinks because you've had sex, you're now in that relationship, which requires a commitment from your behalf. And that commitment, because we're looking for these traditional relationships where we take care of a woman, we want to protect and provide for her, you've now stepped into that role. Okay, so if at some point you leave and you go home and you're still talking, everything is great, and she gets into some trouble, maybe she crashes her car, maybe something's happened, she needs some help with a doctor's bill or something like that, it is now your responsibility. And if you were to say, no, I'm not doing that just because we had sex, you're not dating in the West. Yes, in the West, you can have sex. Women are very promiscuous, right? You're going in, you're taking the role on of this traditional man with a traditional mindset, assuming that you actually do really have that, and you're going into their world, right? So you have to play by their rules. She's not coming into your world. If she was, she'd become promiscuous, and she'd be having sex with you, she'd be having sex with the next man, she'd be having sex with whoever she wants, right?
That is what you're looking for. You're looking I think the guys who are, especially we don't have this problem with the clients who are getting to us because they, as you said, they pay money and they're looking for something more than just, one night, how you call it, one night stand. But in general, this question is important to understand because when you are only seeking for that, then it's better to go cool down your jets somewhere and then start the actual
the process. The process takes time and it takes patience, right? It takes diligence, and you have to have all of these things. But if you're just thinking, I just got to have sex with her on the first night to see what it's like, you're really not getting you're not even getting to know what she would be like as a girlfriend or as a wife in the future or as a mother in the future. You have to take these things slowly, right? Because if you're basing your relationship purely on crazy passionate sex, believe it or not, that dies over time, and you have to try and sustain it. You can only sustain a good sexual relationship through communication and being honest and being committed to each other, right? And you're not going to get that from that first time. I'm not saying that you can't have passionate sex on the first night and then you can build that into something. But if a woman doesn't want to have sex with you on the first night, right? Because she's not a slut, she doesn't have a high notch count, and she wants to have sex with a man that she can see a future with. If she turns you down on the first night, you can be offended by it. You may be thinking, oh, okay, well, this woman's not the woman for me. I had a girlfriend in Kiev. Well, we dated for quite some time, and we hung out almost every day. We had incredible times together, and it was, I would say it was intimate, but it wasn't sex. We didn't have sex for about 2 weeks, right? The fact that we didn't have sex for 2 weeks made me respect her so much more. Because if we had sex on the first night, well, that means like I'm not that special. That she's looking at me going, I need to have sex with him on the first night. I never ever do this, but I'm going to do it just for him. That's probably bullshit, right? Probably means that she does have sex a lot and she is promiscuous. So if you're thinking about this and you're writing these comments and you're thinking, no, you got to have sex, like that's what we do as men. We're alpha. We have sex. Blah blah blah. We're that's the way that we are. This is completely wrong, right? So a lot of the guys that also think the same mentality to bang as many girls as they can, also the same mentality. Well, I want a girl who's a virgin who has a low notch count. In what two worlds do these two things? Can these two things work together? Have as much sex as you can, but only settle down with a woman who's a virgin. How do these work? If every man was thinking the exact same thing, then it wouldn't work, right? It just wouldn't work. And men are also seeking for the top percentage of women anyway, so that these women have a lot of options. So they're probably having a lot of sex. So there's a lot more things to think about when you meet her for the first time that you should be thinking in your mind about the long term than just, I want to have sex. Now, it may happen, and you do have this incredible chemistry. That usually would happen if you were meeting one woman, or you've met one and it wasn't right. And, there's different variables in there anyway. But you do have this closeness, this close connection, right? But just because you have this close, intimate connection doesn't mean you have to have sex. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with saying to her, I really want to get to know you. I really want to understand more about you, and I don't want to put pressure on you by having sex or making you feel like you want to have sex. But, I really do. I am attracted to you, and I do really enjoy our time we're spending together. Let's just take it slow. This will take so much. This will take only if it's getting to the point of where it needs to be like if something's happened and you pull away, you don't want her to be offended, right? So if it's getting to that point where it's getting hot and heavy, there's nothing wrong with saying that, taking the pressure off her completely, and you still controlling the situation, because you may take it to the next part and she says, no, I don't want to have sex, and then it's out of your control. You're the one that has been pushed out of the control of whether or not you have sex or not.
That is important. Very important, because sometimes I got a calls from the girls, and they say, Luba, do you think that he has problems down there? So it's very important to say that. I mean, better to avoid this topic. But strikers say when it's get to the level, like it's better to discuss, because sometimes it can it's very fragile, right? This topic is like so. It's
we can't give the answer on a video.
We can't get the answer, and that's why we always with our clients on phone, like it's support 24/7. Honestly, like we have one guy, and we will do the interview with him soon. Like with him, it was like almost like in the morning, in the evening, during the day. And if he was not messaging, I was thinking, what's happening? Like we just need to know. And like we always will advise our clients what to do best in this situation, but that the girl can get suspicious as well. That does this thing works or no? Like it's also a case that is better to talk with not with her about that. Like talk to your matchmaker first.
But also, like everyone has a different version of a traditional relationship. Some men say, I don't want her to work, I want her to stay home and raise the kids. Some say, look, I just want to retain those masculine and feminine roles in the relationship, but if she wants to go out and work, that's fine. Like there's no one definition of it. We just have to understand what your one is when it comes to the matchmaking, so we can match you with her views as well, what her goals are, what her values are, and try and push those things together. Maybe there's some compromise on either side, but we talk a lot about staying within your own frame and knowing exactly what you want and not compromising on things that's going to be detrimental to your own well-being and your life and your happiness, right? So that's what we want to talk about today. It was like, when it comes to sex, don't put pressure on yourself. Take the pressure off her. Make her feel safe, right? She's going to fall in love with you faster if she feels safe and secure that you are there to take care of her, right? If you're thinking that that's a little bit not alpha enough, then you won't succeed when it comes to Ukrainian women, right? It's all about protection, making her feel safe, right? And look, one of the biggest mistakes that men make is that they think that women think the same way as them. They don't. For a woman to get aroused and to get excited sexually, it's different from a man. Man, we can just look at her in a short dress, looking sexy, and we think, yep, I'm ready to go. For her, it's different, right? She needs to feel this security and this protection. And she needs to see, almost vision you in terms of that you could have some longevity when it comes to a relationship. Unless she's a pub slut and she's just out, at the club. That is different, right? There's many reasons why she might want to sleep with a guy for that. Maybe it's just resentment, she wants to get back at an ex. That's not what our business is, okay? It's important to remember the difference between that pickup, whatever, and what we do. It's very, very different.
That's true that it's a different time when a period of time when the guy fall in love kind of, or he understands that yes, this is the one that I at least want to sleep with. You know, for the lady it's different. And Stryker is very right. Like if you will have this respect for a woman and it will make you feel like a woman and not like piece of meat, that I know that a lot of guys hate this like phrase, but this is exactly how the girls feel when she feels that the guy is there just like to try to touch, you know, and it's nothing bad. I mean, to a little bit hug, but you need to feel, you need to understand that in front of you it's a live person who has feelings, who has their like, you know, how to say, like not boundaries, but like self zone, you know, where she needs to feel comfortable to let you in.
Yeah, actually, one video we did a while ago, you know, it was when will she have sex with you? And the conclusion of the video, spoiler alert, was that when you have reached the value threshold that she has set, but not what she has set, what has been set by other men. So if she's only ever sleeping with A-list celebrities, you probably won't meet that threshold, right? But if she's only ever had bad experiences, and she sees you as this high value man who's got a lot of worth, with a lot of value to her, straight away, maybe it's on the first day, we don't know, maybe it's the second day, you've reached that value threshold that has been set by other men that she has been with in the past. Then she will have sex with you. And that may be on the first meeting or the first date or the second date. But that doesn't mean that you should or that you have to have sex with her, right? Because if you do, as we mentioned, you will then create yourself a situation where there is some commitment, right? And so you need to take these things slowly, okay? Nothing wrong with saying, look, I really, really like you. I think you're beautiful. I enjoy spending time with you. Let's just take it just a little bit slowly, and let's just take the pressure off when it comes to sex. Okay.
We hope it helps, and if you have any more questions, you can book a call with us and we can go more detailed in your situation, and I'm sure that we're going to help you. And also subscribe to our free Telegram community where we post some updates, news, and just chit chat if you have any questions.
Yeah, and also there's a free forum called ukrainefusion.com, just started a while ago. I never ever mention it, I always forget, so go check that out as well. A bunch of guys who are looking at dating or have been dating or even married Slavic women, and you can ask them any questions and they'll help you out as well.
We'll see you in the next one.
See you later.